Everyone, Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me for another Mystery Mystic reading. We're exploring the disappearance or the energies surrounding the disappearance of Madeline Kingsbury. And she was last seen on March 31st, 2023, and she is considered an endangered missing person. So, we're just going to tap into the energies, and this is also where after I've done this particular reading, like the opening reading, if I decide if I'm going to continue on with doing additional readings. We have skull. And if so, if I am going to do additional readings, hold on, then it helps to shape what questions and areas of focus I want to explore in the like a detailed tarot and oracle reading, okay? So let's see what else comes up. Heart. Lighthouse. Flower, rat, owl, will, one more please, Spirit. Thank you. Ladder. Okay, so I'm going to read cards and see what's coming up here with the energies here. Let me see, do I need to zoom in? It's been a while. I'm a little rusty, to be honest, because I've taken some time off on doing readings. Helps refresh the energy, you know, restore my energy, my personal energy. And anyways, let us see what's going on here. So we've got the first card, which is skull. The keyword that is associated with this card is death. Or it could mean an end of an era, an end of a cycle. It can represent change, going from one state of being to another state of being. Death in tarot isn't like a bad thing. This could symbolize that someone had an intention of changing course. You see that when people are in a divorce, right? Once you were married, now you're divorced. You see that with someone who's been single for a long time. Now you're single, now you're married. A change, a state of being. So it could be something like that. But I'm having concerns. I want to be very respectful here as I do this reading. And I'm just going to just read the cards as I see them and what's intuitively coming up here. And I see that the rat is sitting underneath the skull. So that's not boding well. Yeah. The heart is associated with strong emotions. It can represent the symbolism of love and affection and compassion. It also could represent symbolically that whatever this transformation or transition is related to, it's related to something that is of matters of the heart. You know, some people could speculate that perhaps something nefarious happened, not with her partner, but let's say someone came over and it's not being released by public, released to I can't even talk, released to the public from police about who they may suspect, if they suspect anything at all. Maybe they see something on surveillance that we don't. If we're trying to decipher whether or not this is a stranger situation, I can tell you it's not looking that way when I see the heart card sitting next to the skull card. This can represent also the physicality of the heart. Something to do with heart failure, also symbolic heartbreak, transition. Something is being illuminated here with the lighthouse card. Can you see that? Someone is shining a light on a transformation that was happening that involves relationships, matters of the heart. And what I'll also say with the lighthouse is, sometimes we get clues about where a person could be located. Not saying that they're near a large body of water that would have lighthouses, right? But it could be something that is a tower-like structure. I sense that there was a lot of transformation and transition happening in Madeline's life. We see that here with the ladder. There's ascension, wanting to move on, move up to the next level. There's will, that's, change. There was a strong desire of moving forward. So maybe there's some sort of transition that's happened or that was happening, that very soon the light will shine onto the situation. Now we're going to go to the flower card. When I look at her pictures, there's something just so warm about her, and I can't even quite articulate it. It's just when she's looking at the camera, she's looking at you. There's something so beautiful about that, about her spirit. Her inner and outer beauty just shines, and so I sense that the rat was afraid of maybe some sort of transition. This beautiful flower no longer being the flower in this rat's life. Now, everything that's coming up in this reading is all alleged. We're just interpreting the cards. A rat, when that card comes up in the readings that we do here, it represents a traitor or an untrustworthy person or a diseased or toxic situation. A pest. Did someone become a pest? Did they look at her as a pest? Did she look at this person as a pest? Remember, this is an interpersonal matter. I could be wrong, but it feels like it's interpersonal with the heart. The lighthouse also has a body of water. So I'm getting a sense that if I do a follow-up reading with this, in the part 2 with the tarot, I'll be using decks to help us kind of see what's going on, where she may be, some clues, some landmarks. Back to the rat. There's 2 animals here. There's a rat, the traitor, and there's someone who knows about it and has insights into this traitor, this rat, this pest situation. A watchful eye. Sometimes the owl card could represent a witness. Sometimes, though, it can represent someone who may be older than the rat, observant, maybe not directly involved, but observant of the situation, seeing something, knows something. Now we have the will, and we talked about that a bit earlier. The will is about change, movement, Now, there's a question, a big question about, well, how did she leave the house, right? If Madeline and her ex had went to daycare early in the morning to drop off their 5-year-old and their 2-year-old kids, they go to the daycare together, which I don't know. I guess that's normal for them. I don't know if it is or it isn't. But they were only gone for 15 minutes. And then her ex, I guess, or father of her children, says that he drops her off and he goes to run some errands. And so he runs some errands. He comes back. He drops the van off. Another question mark. Are they carpooling? Are they... does he have a vehicle of his own? Where is his vehicle if he does have a vehicle of his own? Why is he using her van? She was supposed to go to work that day. She was supposed to go into the office that day. So why after the daycare would she go home? There's a lot of question marks here. A lot of question marks. Will, though... The will card, if we're talking about metaphors, it represents venturing into one's own destiny. It also represents actual travel or coming around full circle. Maybe there was an illumination with this lighthouse about someone wanting to fulfill their own destiny on their own terms. Wanting to level up in their life, wanting to overcome an obstacle, wanting to overcome an obstacle. When you look at all of this, what is the obstacle? It is the rat. It is the traitor. So now, where do we go from here, right? Let's see. I think I'm going to zoom out though, so bear with me just a moment. As I get back into practice and working with my camera. Okay. Spirit. What else can you share with us? What else can you share? I want to keep an open mind too, as best I can, because we don't know, right? We don't know. Guardian Madeline. Artificial heart. Atonement. Okay, now we have all the cards. It's got a glare. Ouch. Okay. All right, so these are the energies either immediately preceding her disappearance or maybe even some weeks, months, or even years in the past leading up to her disappearance, okay? So we have here domestic violence, and Sometimes this doesn't necessarily have to be physical attacks, and it could go both ways or not, but it could represent emotional abuse. It can represent other forms. It doesn't have to necessarily be of the physical variety. It could be threats. It could be mental abuse. There could be different forms, and it can represent this rat energy. Okay. Yeah, we have organized crime or gang. So could mean that, could mean there's an element of there's some organization, some planning to this crime. It could literally mean a gang, situation where they abducted her, perhaps. It could be those things. It could be those things. But if I just look here at this keyword that says organized, that speaks a lot. Also, what I got a flash in my mind is that perhaps someone may use this as what they theorize could have happened to her as the days wear on. There could be stories or days or weeks coming ahead that may be leaked out where someone had threw this to the wall to see if it would stick as a means as to why she has disappeared or gone missing. We have timeline. Timeline is an issue. I have to say, it was hard to find a couple of good articles or news sources that really was nailing down what was going on with the timeline. There's some issues there. If you're following this case, you know what I mean. So it's interesting to me that this card jumped. There's also clues of things when you really ask questions following the timeline that's been reported by those who last saw her. There's critical evidence and information there with the timeline. We have choke. Sometimes this comes up to represent somebody trying to choke back the truth, choke back information that could really help in finding Madeline. Other times this could represent some kind of physical force, taking someone's breath, quieting them, control. We have liar, lies, and lying in wait. Accessory after the fact. So, remember what I was saying about the owl card? Okay. That comes to mind when I see this image and when I see accessory after the fact. Someone helping them, and maybe either they came into the fold of the plan afterwards, the plan of covering up or coming up with some story as to what may have happened. Okay. The police have indicated that it does appear, like suspicious, like it's giving off that energy that it's suspicious that she didn't leave on her own. So I feel like someone is going to be trying to throw someone's scent off by throwing this up as a possibility of what happened to her. We have abducted or kidnapped. Now, this again could be another theory that someone is throwing at the wall and seeing if it sticks. Or it could very well mean, my dear friends, that she was abducted or taken against her will. Okay? Someone took her against her will or forced her. This could just literally also mean that harmed her and then moved her. She would never have gone willingly with this person to wherever they're trying to take her. Coming back to here, liars, lies, lying in wait. Lying in wait. So someone was waiting. Someone organized and planned this and plotted this. Someone was lying in wait. The accessory after the fact could have been also part of the lies and is a liar. There may later on in the future come out with some accusations about an accessory after the fact or a serious question of was someone else involved with this? This also could be a witness who has not been, like, no information has been released yet to the public about the presence of a witness who has given some vital information about what happened. Doctor indicates that she was in need of medical attention, immediate medical attention. Something could be about like her heart stopping, God forbid, something where she needed immediate medical attention. And of course, whoever did this to her did not get her medical attention. So now we're just going to talk briefly about these cards here. We got fragmentation. When I think of fragmentation, I think of a situation that has kind of disjointed and broken and out of alignment. And I sense that maybe this is the energy that she was in, fragmented on one hand, and I think we're getting a fragmented sense of the truth here. And that's okay. We as the public only need to get what is comfortable for the family to share, what is only necessary to share as far as the police go, right? As far as what they want to release. But I sense that we're getting this fragmented, disjointed information for a reason. So it's also about not just what she was going through but ahead of this, but also what's happening now. It feels very disjointed, energetically speaking, whenever I'm like reading an article or watching a little news clip about her case. It's like, wait a minute, we're missing some pieces here. Why is that? And it's not that these people do not know that. It is because they have to parse out the information they need to get. They're dealing with someone with an artificial heart, showing up as someone who has a heart, who's trying to pretend like they care, trying to say that, to show a supportive level of involvement. And of course, I know people are going to instantly go to her children's father. And this is, again, all alleged. I'm just interpreting the cards. When I see artificial heart, sure, it could mean a stranger. But when I see heart, like I mentioned here before, this is again signaling that this is all out of someone who was close to her, a desire to be close, and when this person realized they weren't going to get what they need or wanted, they turned on her. It's a traitor. What is how you say this? I can't even talk. I need to get back into practice of recording videos. I can't even say it's fine. We'll just say treasonous. Treasonous. They're a traitor. They turned, and now they're trying to portray like this sense of caring, but people can see through it. And does that necessarily translate to her father's children? I don't know. I'm not following it that closely to know, but could be a close friend, right? I'm not sensing it's work related. I feel like we would get cards that say it, but I feel like this is close to home. Atonement. Now, this means two things for me. The first thing it means is that someone doesn't feel so guilty about what they've done at this point. They don't feel so guilty. And I know this might be frustrating for those who care about her to hear that. But this person who did this feels like they were justified in doing this. They may later on down the line when they are caught, and we see that with atonement. That's the second meaning I feel like it means. It's double-edged blade. They may even try to say that they feel bad, that they have regrets. But trust and believe, as I'm recording this video as of April 9th, 2023 at 10:30 p.m., this person feels like they were justified. That ties in with that rat card. It's not like, okay, a crime of passion. This was planned. This was orchestrated. Someone didn't like the direction that things were going with the will card. And they had to stop that. They had to put it into that, as we saw with the skull card. So, what do you all think? Let me know in the comments section below what comes up for you. I didn't want to go too much deeper than this with the opening oracle reading. I think if I do a part 2, and maybe it'll be this week. If she is not located, and we pray that she's located safe. My God, she's got 2 beautiful children. If she's not located, then, maybe we can go ahead and do a reading at that point, a detailed tarot and oracle reading. And if you have some questions you would like me to pose, provided that they make sense for me to ask Spirit, right? To ask the divine, then I'll ask it in the upcoming tarot and oracle reading for a part 2 for her. Sometimes we glean enough information from the opening oracle reading. It's just not necessary to do multiple parts till as the case unfolds. And other times it's like, no, let's sit back at the reading table and see what else comes up. So I'm definitely curious to hear from you on what your intuitive hits are saying. Let's definitely pray for, if you pray or meditate or send loving vibes of strength to Madeline's family and friends in the community. Okay, send that to them, because wow, I can't even imagine. I can't even. So this is what I'm picking up here, folks. Please do me a favor on your way out. Please hit the like button. It does really help me. It helps the channel. And subscribe if you haven't already done so. Join my little family over here. And yeah, that's what I have for now. Take very good care of yourselves. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.